Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Kanvanta
Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Lalita Vishaka, Jaya Radhesham, Lalita Vishaka, Jaya Radhesham. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Vandong Mui Shakadana Mate Vandamoye Sabadana Mate Jahara Prasadeva Eva Batoria Jaha Jahara Prasadeva Eva Batoria Jaha Krishna Prapti Ho Jaha Aite Krishna Prapti Hai Jahoite Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Sitati Koriya Hakya Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Sitati Koriya Hakya Arana Koriyo Mane Hasha Arana Kariya Mane Hasha Sri Guru Charane Rati Yai Subhutama Gati Sri Guru Charane Rati Yai Subhutama Gati Jai Prasad Pure Sarva Asha Jai प्रसादे पूर्व सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिला दे जन्म जन्म में प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिला दे जन्म जन्म में प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित प्रेमा भक्ति जाहवते अविद्या विनाशा जयते प्रेमा भक्ति जाहवते अविद्या विनाशा जयते वेदेगा जारतरिता वेदेगा जारतरिता श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनर बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनर बंधु लोकना लोकर जीवाना लोकना लोकर जीवाना प्रभु करो दया देव मोरे पदो छाया प्रभु करो दया देव मोरे पदो छाया वेदगाद गुच्चु श्री भुवाना वेदगाद गुच्चु श्री भुवाना श्रीला प्रभुपाद पतित पवाना जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपाद 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 जगत गुरु शील गुरु पूजा की जय। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरार भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरार भक्तवृंद हरि बोल हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, राधा माधव कुंज कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गौर प्रेमा Premanande Hari Hari Om. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paravrajagacharya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Abhay Chandananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Thakur Haridas Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Yonamai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Rani Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagvatam Ki Jai. ISKCON Samsthapaka Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ka Disappearance Day Ki Jai. Go Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. It's my great good fortune to be here in Sri Vrindavan Dham, in the assembly of such great Vaishnavas, and to see all of you, to get your darshan, and to get an opportunity to say a few words in glorification of our Paramaguru, Shri Srimad Nitya Leela Pravishta, Om Vishnupad Paramamsa Paravrajagacharya, Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami, Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, the spiritual master of our own spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder and Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Without Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, none of us would be sitting here today. Had he not inspired Srila Prabhupada to do what Srila Prabhupada could do by his grace, and as a result of his own faith and surrender to the orders of his spiritual master. So we're indebted so much. And I thought this morning, we can see there's a certain quality to the speech of devotees who were personally in Srila Prabhupada's association, trained by him with long years of association with him. When they speak about Srila Prabhupada, you can feel the difference. It does make a difference. Tamal Krishna Goswami told me once that although the idea is that there's no difference between Vapu and Vani, and that's true, except that the Vani is eternal. Still, he said he never lost an opportunity to take advantage of the physical association of Srila Prabhupada whenever he could. And that's borne out by the photographs. You can see whenever there's a picture of Srila Prabhupada, he's always right there. It makes a difference. So there are several statements given to us by those who were in the personal association of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and who therefore really appreciated the things that they were saying. And hopefully when we hear those things in the right spirit, some of the power of their words will also impress upon us just how great a personality this was. So I'll read some of those things. First we'll begin with Mangalacharana. Om Jnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayataya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojjvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dhvanta Harine Madgavirapi Gopala Swikuryat Kripaya Yadi Tadaivasam Payaha Pitva Krishye Yustat Priyajanaha Chaitanya Charitamrita Anchilila chapter 3 text number 149 describes Lord Nityananda's preaching. I think there isn't any controversy about the fact that Srila Prabhupada really represented Lord Nityananda completely in his mission and in our lives. And he was inspired to do this by Srimad Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his own spiritual master, as we've said. Prema Pracharana Ara Pakhanda Dalan Dvikarje Avadhuta Karina Brahman. Lord Nityananda traveled throughout this world mainly with two purposes. The first purpose was Prema Pracharana, to disseminate prema, to distribute love of Godhead. And Pakhandadalan, the second, was to subdue all those elements which get in the way of that distribution. We can see that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also demonstrated these characteristics. And I'm going to read select poems glorifying him written by his close associates. First of all, Srila Prabhupada. We've all heard this many times, but it's always worth repeating. This is his 1935 Vyasa Puja homage to the Mumbai Gaudiya Math. Adore ye all this happy day, blessed than heaven, sweeter than May, when he appeared at Puri, the holy place, my Lord and Master, his divine grace. O my Master, the evangelic angel, give us thy light, light up thy candle, struggle for existence, a human race, the only hope, his divine grace. Misled we are, all going astray. Save us, Lord, our fervent pray. Wonder thy ways, to turn our face, adore thy feet, your divine grace. Forgotten Krishna, we fallen souls, paying most heavy the illusion's toll. Darkness around, all untrace, the only hope, his divine grace. Message of service thou hast brought, a healthful life has Chaitanya wrought. Unknown to all, it's full of grace. That's your gift, your divine grace. Absolute is sentient, thou hast proved. Impersonal calamity thou hast moved. This gives us a life anew and fresh. Worship thy feet, your divine grace. Had you not come, who had told the message of Krishna, forceful and bold? That's your right, you have the mace. Save me, a fallen, your divine grace. The line of service as drawn by you is pleasing and healthy like morning dew. Oldest of all, but in new dress, miracle done, your divine grace. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He was, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was most pleased by this line. Absolute ascension thou hast proved, impersonal calamity thou hast moved. Hardly anyone in modern history, at least, within the last several centuries, had such a spirit of attacking anything and everything that was opposed to pure devotion to Krishna as taught by the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. And in particular, Srila Prabhupada, one of his salient characteristics was his kick on the face method with regard to the mundane scientists. That was actually started by his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He had the same spirit. Not only the mundane scientists who were atheists, but as we've read already, the Mayavadis, impersonalists in general, and even the pseudo-Vaishnavas. This was a large part of his attention in his preaching, was directed at pseudo-Vaishnavas, because especially in those days, 100 years ago, the whole Gaudiya Sampradaya had been shamed, really, by the misbehavior of so-called representatives, so-called leaders of the Sampradaya. So, this was Srila Prabhupada's glorification. Now, in 1927, just at the I'm going to assume Gaur Purnima celebrations in Gaudiya Math in Mayapur. They received a letter from one Gopal Govind Mahant from Srihatta in Bangladesh. And he offered his glorification of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. No one had ever gone there. Nobody knew who he was. But he knew very intimately about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he had very deep appreciation of his activities and his character and his mission. And so he wrote this Bengali song, which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur accepted and even published it, and thereafter it was regularly sung in Gaudiya Math. So I'll try to go through that quickly. Jayo re jai Parahamsa Mahashai श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर जय परम करुणामय दीनहीन अगतिर गति नीलाचल हैय उदय श्री गौर मंडलया श्री प्रेम भक्ति परकाशी जीवेर नाशीला भव भाई तुम्हार महिमा गाय है न साध्य मनाय तुम धबे परे यदि देह शक्ति विश्वहिते अविरत आचार प्राचारे रत विरुद्धा श्री रूपानुग भक्ति श्रीपातक हेतुरी धाम ठाकुर श्री नरोत्तम तोमाते ताहार गुण देखी शास्त्रेर सिद्धांत सार सुनी लागे चमत्कार कुटार किलदीते नारे फांकी शुद्ध भक्ति मत जत उपधर्म कबलित हेरिया लोकेर मने त्रास हानि सुसिद्धांत वाण उपधर्म खान खान सज्जनेर बड़ाले उल्लास स्मर्थ मत जलधार शुद्ध भक्ति रविकर आच्छादिल भावी अंतरे शास्त्र सिंधु मथने ते सुसिद्धांत झांझावाते उड़ाइल दिग्दिगंतरे स्थाने स्थाने कतमथ स्थापिया छे निष्कपट प्रेम सेवा शिखाइते जीवे मठेर वैष्णव गान करे सदा विवरण हरिगुण कथामृत भावे शुद्ध भक्ति मंदाकिनी विमल प्रवाहानी शीतल करिला तप्त प्राण देशे देशे निष्कंचन प्रेरिला वैष्णव गान विस्तारिते हरिगुण गान पूर्वे जथा गौर हरि माया बार छेद करी वैष्णव करिल काशीवासी वैष्णव दर्शन सूक्ष्म विचारे तुमी हे दक्ष त्वमतितशील बरनाशी दैव वर्णाश्रम धर्म हरि भक्ति जार मर्म शास्त्र युक्ते करिल निश्चय ज्ञान योग कर्म चाय मूल्य तारे किछु नाय भक्ति विरोधी जदि होय श्री गौर मंडल भूमि भक्त संगे परिक्रमे सुकृति स्थापिल महाशाय अभिन्न ब्रज मंडल गौर भूमि प्रेमोज्ज्वल प्रचार हईल विश्वमाय कुलियाते पाखंडिरा अत्याचार कैल जारा ताशवार दोष क्षमा करी जगते कैल घोषणा तरोड़व सहिष्णुता हाँ कीर्तनिया सदा हरि विश्व वैष्णव राज सभा मझे पात्र राज उपाधि भूषणे विभूषित विश्वेर मंगली लागी हरियाछे हयाथ सर्वत्यागी विश्ववासी जनहित रत करिथे च उपकार जाते पर उपकार लभे जीव श्री कृष्ण सेवाय दूरे जाय भवरोग घंटे जह कर्म भोग हरिपाद पद्म जाते पाय जीवन मोहिंते द्रगता जगते वैकुंठ दूत गौरिया पाथो घरे घरे उठारे भाई आरत समाय नाय कृष्ण भज बल उच्चैश्वरे तुम्हार मुखार बिंद विगलेते मकरंद सिंचित अच्युत गुण गाथा सुनिए जुड़ाई प्राण तम मोह अंतर्धान दूरे जाय हृदयेर व्याथा जानी आमी महाशय यशो बंछा नहीं है बिंदु मात्र तुम्हार अंतरे तब गुण बिना धारे मोर कंठ बिना धारे अवशेते बोलाय अमरे वैष्णवेर गुणगान करिले जीवेर त्राण सुनिया छे साधु गुर मुखे कृष्ण भक्ति समुदाय जन्म सफल है भव सागर तर सुखे ते कारणे प्रयास जाहव मने रास गगनेर छंद धरि बारे अदोष दर्श दर्शी तुमी अधम पतितयामी निज गुणे क्षमी बा आमारे श्री गौरंग परिषद ठाकुर श्री भक्ति विनोद दीनहीन पति तेर बंधु कलितमो विनाशिते अनिल अवनीते तुम अकलंक पूर्ण इंदु कर कृपा वितरण प्रेम सुधानुखान माथिया उठुक जीवगान हरिनाम संकीर्तने नाचुक जगतने वैष्णव दशेर निवेदने. You understanding? Try. It means, it's really, really wonderful prayer that this person wrote. Glory, glory, glory to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the great personage, the devotee, situated on the highest level of devotional service! Exclamation mark. He is most merciful and is the means of success for the fallen and hopeless. Arising in Nilachala Puri, he came to Sri Gaudamandala, where he manifested loving devotional service to Krishna and destroyed the living entity's fear of material existence. Although I have no ability, I sing your glories, but I will be able to do so if you empower me. Always executing spiritual praxis for the benefit of the world, you preach pure devotional service in the line of Srila Rupa Goswami. I see in you the qualities of Sri Narottam Das Thakur of Keturi Dham. Hearing from you is the crux of all scriptural conclusions, whereby you stop the deception of the mundane wranglers. I'm simply astonished. This is a stranger. This is the persons that out there that we don't see, that we're trying to preach to. Suddenly you get some feedback like this. So, devotees became anxious because all bona fide conceptions of pure devotional service were engulfed by superstitions. But by shooting the arrow of proper scriptural conclusions, you cut those superstitions to pieces and increased the devotee's joy. Considering that the clouds of smarta opinions had covered the sunshine of pure devotional service, you churned the ocean of revealed scriptures. Thus, from all directions arose strong winds of correct scriptural conclusions to dispel those clouds. You established so many mathas in so many places to teach the jivas guileless, loving service to Krishna. The Vaishnava inhabitants of those mathas constantly distribute to the world the nectarian descriptions of the qualities of Lord Sri Hari. You bring the clear flow of the Ganga of pure devotional service to cool the lives of those burning in material existence. You send renounced preachers to every country to distribute the praise of Hari's qualities. Like Lord Gaurahari, who previously smashed Mayavad and made the inhabitants of Varanasi into Vaishnavas, you too are expert in understanding and explaining the subtleties of Vaishnava philosophy. On the basis of scripture, you establish that devotional service is the essence of Daiva Varnashram Dharma, and that if one is against Krishna Bhakti, his performance of fruitive activities, practice of mystic yoga, or cultivation of knowledge is all worthless. You establish the glories of Gaudamandala Bhumi by traversing it in the association of devotees, and everywhere preaching that Gaudamandala is effulgent with prema and non-different from Vrajamandala. You forgave all the faults of those atheists of Kulia who behaved abominably toward you. Thus you announced to the world that the prerequisite for always glorifying Sri Hari is the principle of being more tolerant than a tree. In the Vishwa Vaishnava Raja Sabha, you are decorated with the title of Patra Raja, President. You renounced everything to bring auspiciousness to the world. Indeed, you are ever attached to doing good for the people of the universe. You performed welfare activities so that the living entities could attain the highest benefit of service to Sri Krishna, whereby the disease of material life becomes far removed and enjoyment of fruitive activities is destroyed, enabling one to attain the lotus feet of Sri Hari. To awaken the living entities, sleeping in ignorance, you send the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, messengers of Lord Vishnu, house to house. These preachers call out loudly, "Brothers, arise, arise. There is no more time. Just worship Krishna." The glories of the infallible Lord flow like honey from your lotus mouths. Hearing your ambrosial speeches dispels the darkness of ignorance and drives far away heartfelt pains. We were reading yesterday in one purport in Srila Prabhupada, in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada writes, "Ocean of material existence is filled with the tears of all of the conditioned souls who are suffering like anything in this world, especially in 2021, it seems. Oh, great personality, I know that in your heart there is not even a drop of desire for personal glorification. Your qualities are like a musician holding the veena of my voice, under whose control I play as he directs me. I've heard from sadhus and gurus that by glorifying the qualities of devotees, living entities may be delivered. By following various practices of devotional service, life becomes successful, and the ocean of material existence is happily crossed. Thus, I'm trying to glorify you in the manner of a dwarf attempting to catch the moon. I'm fallen and wretched, but you do not see the faults of others. So by the strength of your qualities, please forgive me." Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, an associate of Lord Chaitanya and friend of the fallen, brought you into this world, who are the spotless full moon for destroying the darkness of Kali Yuga. Please continue to ceaselessly distribute the mercy and nectar of pure devotional service. Let all living entities become intoxicated with it. Let all people of the world dance in Harinama Sankirtana. This is the request of the servant of the devotees. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. His own disciple, leading disciple, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj also wrote another Sanskrit, Srila Prabhupada Padmastavaka. This is something that they sang in Gaudiya Math as well. I think they maybe still sing it. Sujanar Buddha Radhita Pada Yugam Yuga Dharma Dhurandhara Patravaram Varadabhaya Dayaka Pujya Padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada Padam. I constantly bow to the Venerable Srila Prabhupada. He is most competent to propagate the process of religion for this age. Millions of highly qualified devotees adore his worshipable feet, which bestow all benedictions and grant fearlessness. Bhajanorjita sajjana sanghapatim patitadhika karunikaika gatim gati vanchita vanchakachintya padam pranamami sada prabhupada padam. I eternally bow to the Venerable Srila Prabhupada. Pure devotees, invigorated by loving devotional service, hold him as their master, for he is extremely compassionate to the fallen and is their only refuge. His transcendental position is inconceivable for those who are deceiving regarding the ultimate destination, and also for the deceivers. Vanchita, vanchaka. There's only two kinds of people in this world. Vanchakas, the cheaters. Watch out. And vanchita, those who are cheated. Usually, it's both, actually. Those who are cheating, they ultimately get cheated also. Ati komala kanchana dirghatanam tanunindita hema mranalamadam badanardabudavandita chandrapadam pranamami sada prabhupada padam. His tall golden form is exceptionally charming and delicate, mocking the pride of the golden lotus flower, and his moon-like effulgence is praised by millions of cupids. Nijasevaka taraka ranji vidhum vidhutadita humkrita singhavaram Varanagata Balishat Shandapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada. He is the moon delighting its surrounding stars, his intimate servitors, and is the most ferocious lion, removing with his roar all hindrances on the path of devotion. Srila Prabhupada's feet bestow good fortune to the innocent souls who have accepted him. Vipulikrita Vaibhava Gaura Bhuvam Bhuvaneshu Vikirtita Gauradayam Dayaniya Ganarpita Gaurapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada. He broadcasted the glories of Gaura's holy land, caused the mercy of Gaura to be praised all over the world, and awarded Gaura's feet to all whom he favored. Chiragaura Janashraya Vishwagurum Guru Gaura Vikishoraka Dasyapadam Paramadrita Bhakti Vinoda Padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada. He is the Guru of the whole universe and the eternal shelter for devotees of Gaura. Yet he accepts service to his Guru, Srila Gaurkishora Das Babaji, as the highest principle, and adores with the utmost reverence the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Raghurupa Sanatana Kirtitharam Dhanani Tala Kirtita Jiva Kavim Kaviraja Narottama Sakhyapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada. Carrying the glory of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, and Srila Sanatan Goswami, he proclaimed in this world the genius of Srila Jiva Goswami and is an object of friendship for Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Kripaya Hari Kirtana Murtidharam Dharani Bharaharaka Gaurav Janam Janakadhika Vatsala Snigdhapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada. Revealing his compassion, he is the very form of Hari Kirtan, and as a personal associate of Gaura, he removes the burden of the earth. He is the pleasing abode of an affection that exceeds even that of a father. Sharanagata Kinkara Kalpatarum Tarudhikrita Dhira Vedanyavaram Varadendra Ganarshita Divyapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada. The desire tree for the surrendered servitors. He puts all ordinary trees to shame with his unparalleled tolerance and magnanimity. The gods themselves, bestowers of benedictions, also worship his divine feet. Paramahangsavaram Paramarthapatim Patidodharane Kritavesha Yatim Yatirajaganaihi Parishevya Padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada. Possessing pure love for Krishna, the supreme objective of existence, he is the crown jewel among the most exalted transcendentalists. To deliver fallen souls, he accepted the dress of a sannyasi, and the foremost of renunciates attend to his lotus feet. Vrishabhanu sutta daitanucharan charanashrita renu tarastamaham maharadbhuta pavana shakti padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada. He is a dear attendant of Srimati Radharani. I place on my head the dust from his feet, the abode of immensely astonishing purificatory potency. There's another one. Sri Dayatidasa Pranati Panchakam. 5 prayers of submission to Sri Dayatidasa. His name was Dayatidasa. On this holy day of his auspicious appearance, I bow to the beloved associate of Maharaj Vrishabhanu's daughter and to the servitors of his lotus feet. His large, merciful eyes dispel fear and proclaim victory. By preaching and thus expanding the ocean of the topmost mellow, that of divine consorthood, from which ocean was born Lord Chaitanya, he increases the number of devotees who are the shelter of this mellow. There's a footnote here. This is only one of many possible translations because the original is very highly allegorical. I think he got it. Clad in red robes, he purifies the earth and delivers everyone from the material existence by causing the earth to resound with Hari Kirtan. On this holy day of his auspicious appearance, I bow to the beloved associate of Maharaj Vrishabhanu's daughter and to the servants of his lotus feet. Surrendered devotees, fixed in loving service of the Lord, are eternally protected at his lotus feet. Accepting all persons who are virtuous, simple-hearted, and gentle, he chastises those who create impediments on the path to attainment of Lord Hari. As the mine of compassion for both animate and inanimate living beings, he destroys everything inauspicious. His activities reveal him to be the topmost follower of Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, and Srila Rupa Goswami. Saintly personalities declare him a genuine philosopher on the level of Srila Jiva Goswami. These are the same four personalities that he mentioned in the previous composition, in case you didn't notice. On this holy day of his auspicious appearance, I bow to this beloved personal associate of Maharaj Vrishabhanu's daughter and to the servitors at his feet. His transcendental movements inspire joy and wonder in artists. His intelligence surpasses even that of the demigods, and he is the glory of the Vaishnava sannyasis. In the bower of Swananda Sukhada Kunja on the bank of Radhakund, he is engaged in intimate loving service to his beloved mistress. Worshipping with utmost adoration the hosts of cowherd girls, headed by Sri Lalita Devi, he brings great pleasure to Sri Kamala Manjari, who is highly respected throughout the forest of Vraja, and weaves the dress of the Lord Hari with the threads of Gunamanjari's greatness. Who is Kamala Manjari? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. On this holy day of his auspicious appearance, I bow to this beloved personal associate of Maharaj Vrishabhanu's daughter and to the servants at his feet. The joy of the goddess Vimala. He appeared in Sri Purushottam Dham in the holy land of Orissa. Developing Sri Navadvip Dham in order to uplift the fallen souls and spread mercy, he traveled throughout Gaura's town, which is non-different from Mathura and Purushottam Kshetra, promulgating the Kama, Dhamma, and Nama of Lord Hari. On this holy day of his auspicious appearance, I bow unto this beloved personal associate of Maharaj Vrishabhanu's daughter and to the servitors at his lotus feet. A few minutes. I'll read one more. In Sri Sri Dayata Dasa Dashakam. This is 10 verses now. When the impatient laughter of Maharaj Vrishabhanu, when the impatient daughter of Maharaj Vrishabhanu, Srimati Radharani, took him back at the end of the night to rejoin her entourage, a great cry of lamentation arose among countless grief-stricken devotees. Their bodies bathed by profuse tears. That was on this day in 1936, if I'm not mistaken. When the impatient daughter of Maharaj Vrishabhanu, Srimati Radharani, took him back at the end of night to rejoin her entourage, a great cry of lamentation arose among countless grief-stricken devotees, their bodies bathed by profuse tears. Bereft of him, the earth was enveloped by deep darkness, like a person who has lost the jewel of his eyes. Nayana Mani. You get it? Oh, my sorrowful eyes, please quickly lead this poor servant to wherever that great soul may be. That's beautiful poetry. He says, Yasya Shri Pada Padmat Pravahati Jagati Prema Piyusha Dhara Yasya Shri Pada Padmat Chuta Madhu Satatam Pritya Bhringam Vibharti Yasya Shri Pada Padmam Vrajarasika Jano Modate Samprashasya Yatra Sau Tatra Shikhram Kripanayana He Niyatam Kinkaroyam. From his lotus feet a stream of ambrosial divine love of Krishna flows throughout the universe. The honey oozing from them maintains the life of Krishna's bee-like servitors. And pure devotees who relish the confidential mellows of Raja rejoice as they extol the glories of those lotus feet. O my sorrowful eyes, please quickly lead this poor servant to wherever that great soul may be. Parental affection, so highly esteemed in this world, is nothing but a hoax. Marital love is simply robbery. And friendship offered by kinsmen is mere deception. I have gleaned these truths from the effulgence emanating from the toenails of the holy feet of that merciful personality, the embodiment of supramundane affection. O my sorrowful eyes, please quickly lead this poor servant to wherever that great soul may be. Has the divine message that was constantly sung when the Krishna Chaitanya moon was shining suddenly emerged from people's ears, only to assume a form visible to their eyes? Indeed, because this personified divine message appeared in the house favored by the glance of Lord Nilachala Chandra, he is called the jewel of the eye. You understand? Because this personified divine message appeared in the house favored by the glance of Lord Nilachala Chandra, he's called the jewel of the eye. Lord Jagannath looked upon him very mercifully. Therefore he's called Nayanamani. That's his ontological name. Oh, my sorrowful eyes, please quickly lead this poor servant to wherever that great soul may be. Having stolen the golden hue from the waters of the river Jambu, has this golden cloud arisen on the mountain where the moon of Lord Gaura set, just to shower torrents of rain upon all the towns and villages, burning as they are in the fire of threefold sufferings? And did it suddenly conceal itself in the dust of the land where Sri Gauranga appeared? O my sorrowful eyes, please quickly lead this poor servant to wherever that great soul may be. Although he is the guru of everyone who sings Lord Gaura's glories, he himself, whose complexion is also golden, has become a disciple of another Gaura, Srila Gaura Kishore Das Babaji. In Gaura Mandala Bhumi, he is the pride of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and in South India, he proudly promotes Lord Gaura. Endowed with veneration for Srimati Radharani, he occupies the preeminent position among those dear to Sri Krishna, the lifter of Govardhan Hill. O my sorrowful eyes, please quickly lead this poor servant to wherever that great soul may be. He inundated the entire universe of countless living beings, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, those less than Shudras, down to and including even Mlechas, in the nectar ocean that is the holy names of Sri Radha Krishna. He is the mercy potency of Sri Gauranga, is a friend to all fallen souls, and is unapproachable even by liberated impersonalists or yogis endowed with various mystic powers. O my sorrowful eyes, please quickly lead this poor servant to wherever that great soul may be. Is there any hope of ever again seeing that beautiful golden form that granted auspiciousness to everyone in this world? Is there any hope of again beholding that tall, handsome figure with blue lotus eyes, nose comparable to the sesame flower, forehead that shames the half moon, graceful lotus face, gleaming pearl white teeth, and long arms. Oh, my sorrowful eyes, please quickly lead this poor servant to wherever that great soul may be. In the year 450 of Lord Gaura's era, on the 4th day of the dark fortnight in the month of Paush, at the end of Thursday night, when the moon was in conjunction with the star Magh, that most beloved attendant of Srimati Radhika re-entered the spiritual pastimes of Vraja. Oh, my sorrowful eyes, please quickly lead this poor servant to wherever that great soul may be. Ha ha karayar jananam gurucharana jasham purita bhurna bhascha yato sao kutra vishvam prabhupada virahat dhanta shunyayatam me padabje nitya bhrityah kshanamapi viraham notsahe sohomatra yatra sao tatra shighram kripananayana he niyatam kinkaroyam. On that day, devotees who were surrendered in service to Sri Gurudev's lotus feet filled the entire earth and sky with their cries of anguish. Alas, where has that great master gone? In separation from Prabhupada, the whole universe now seems empty to me. This eternal servitor of his lotus feet cannot endure even a moment of separation from them. Oh, my sorrowful eyes, please quickly lead this poor servant to wherever that great soul may be. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gauriya Guravanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yo Gaura Sankirtanehi Maya Vaditmingalo Durgatan Udhritya Jivan Iman Krishna Prema Sudadhi Gahana Sukham Pradat Prabhum Tam Bhaje. This is a nice verse, also written by the same Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, which glorifies his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and encapsulates in just a few lines his mission. It says, I worship that master known as Sri Siddhanta Saraswati, who shines like the rising sun in the morning sky of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. By broadcasting the glories of Lord Gaura, he saved conditioned souls who were swallowed by the Timingala fish of Mayavad and plunged them in the bliss of diving into the ocean of Krishna Prema. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we're out of time, but we're not out of glorification. There's so much more that can be said about this wonderful Acharya, but maybe it's enough for us to consider that when somebody really receptive came with faith, the kind of faith that we hear about in the last verse of the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Yasya Devi Para Bhaktir Yatha Devi Tatha Gurau. His message resonated so much with Srila Prabhupada that Srila Prabhupada was able to do what he did. It's said here that he preached even he went all over India and all outside of India also. And not only Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, less than Shudras, outcasts, mlechas, he's also preaching. Still he's preaching, even now. So on days like today, it is our joyful duty and indispensable duty to bow down at his lotus feet and beg for his mercy. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada said the grandfather spiritual master is more merciful than the spiritual master. Grandfather is more merciful than the father. So we have a hope, despite our innumerable disqualifications, in the mercy of this great soul, this personal associate of Srimati Radharani, who descended from the spiritual world only to rejuvenate this Gaudiya Sampradaya and to spread it all over the world, which he did through his agents, especially through the divine grace, his divine grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and Tirobhav Mahotsava Ki Jai. I'll stop here unless there are any comments or any questions.
Thank you so much for a very wonderful, glorious presentation. We really enjoyed it. Just thinking about the comment, adore ye all. So how does one practically apply adoration, or what do we do to demonstrate adoration?
We can, well, Iha yasya harirdhasi karmana manasa vacha. We can glorify, as we have been doing for the last hour, with our tongues. We can meditate, ruminate. We can hear his instructions, shravana, manana, nididhyasana, and then meditate on those. And then finally we can apply those instructions physically in this world. What is the point of existing in this life unless we do something to try to extend that message to everyone that we meet? Jare dekhe tare kaha Krishna upadesh ityadi. So adoration, otherwise you can look up adoration in the dictionary. As far as I know, it means to very affectionately and reverently worship someone with deep conviction and appreciation. And that's what days like this are for. We worship Vaishnavas equally on their appearance and on their disappearance. We don't make so much distinction. But the disappearance is a little bit deep, as we heard in the final composition that Sridhar Maharaj had written in separation from his spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada also wrote very, very powerful words in separation from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So it begins with that, Adau Shraddha, and Shravanam. We have to hear with faith, and then we have to apply what we've heard. And then we really appreciate. That's proper adoration, I would say. Prabhupada said, it's not just a question of offering fruits and flowers, although we do that, or sweet words, although we're doing that. But really we have to try to create in ourselves facsimiles of this message, or try to emulate his behavior and what he's done as best as we can by his divine grace and by the divine grace of his representatives. Is that okay? Okay, thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Tirobhav Mahotsava Ki Jai.